Jimmy, Joe College, Chicago. Sometimes I know you don't like talking about or updating us on injuries as they're going on, but now this thing is over. I mean, what exactly did you come into this game feeling and having to battle through from a physical standpoint?
The same thing everybody this time of year feels. Body's nicked up a little bit. Still got to go out there and compete, play the best basketball that you can. Nobody feels sorry for me that I'm nicked up. I'm okay with it. I mean, in the end, I went out there. No excuses for that.
Jimmy, Pat Minkowski, Sports Spotlight. You guys defensively had some lapses in these games, and I know Rondo's absence was a big part of it. Was that the biggest part of it, or were there other things?
No, it wasn't. A lot of mishaps, a lot of switches when we weren't supposed to switch. Not a lot of not closing out, playing to people's weaknesses. We didn't do that very well, and it leads to what happened tonight. A lot of open shots. They're a good team. They make those. So in the end, we got to guard better, so a little bit more effort, and focus in on the personnel who will guard.
Jimmy, you'll have a lot of time to reflect on all this, but how would you sum up this series? And if you can, how would you sum up the season?
We lost the series, so that sums that up. And, the season, I guess we did better than y'all picked us to finish. Summing up that way.
Jimmy, Casey Johnson, Chicago Tribune. It's been pretty well documented that you've been in trade talks in the past. It's also been well documented you prefer to stay here in Chicago. What kind of clarity, if any, will you be seeking from management this summer about your future?
I don't know. I'm going to go home, eat some dinner, talk about it with my guys, and, maybe talk to them tomorrow, in a week, 2 weeks. I'll make sure you're the first person I let know.
You do still want to obviously be here, though, correct?
Yeah.
Jimmy, playing with Dwayne, playing with Rajon, and the ups and downs this team had, the young guys, I mean, do you think this team is close? Do you think there still needs to be more things added? I mean, when you look at where you guys are, 41 and 41, and that, that's the standings. But how close do you think you are to getting this thing over the hump and challenging Cleveland if they are truly the team to beat?
I feel like we might be. I really can't answer that for you. That's whatever, upstairs feels we need, what we don't need. That's up to them. I think as a player, myself and everybody else back there in that locker room, we just got to go out there and play. The guys that they put together, we got to do the best that we can to win games and represent for this organization.
Jimmy, Mike McGraw, Daily Herald. Do you obviously you guys rode the young guys a lot this season. Do you feel optimistic about how those guys fared this year?
Yeah, those guys, they work, and you every day is something new to a lot of guys. Obviously a lot of the roles change and the lineups change, but props to them because they were always ready. And it's hard to stay ready like that when you don't know when your name's going to be called. But I got a lot of faith in those young guys, man. They work, they listen, they don't complain, they do what you ask of them to do. That's all you can expect out of young guys.
Jimmy, Nick Friedel, ESPN. Assuming you are back, Dwayne has the player option. He picks that up. Are you hopeful that Garmpacks pick up Rondo's option for next season?
Of course. He's been huge for us this year, man. Molding these young guys into the type of player that they need to be on that basketball floor, in that film room, around everybody. And obviously, the way he plays the game, getting everybody involved. Yeah, love playing with him and D-Wade, all these other guys. But I don't know what the future holds for anybody, so I'll sit back and wait on that time to come.
Jimmy, obviously you and Dwayne were got pretty close this season, and you were instrumental in him coming here. It's his choice whether or not he wants to return. How much will you be involved in talking to him and expressing whatever you want to say about his future?
I mean, when that time comes, I'm sure that we will sit down and talk about it. But right now, man, I think you gotta rest your mind mentally, and it's a long way away, to tell you the truth. And I'm sure he would tell you the same thing. But when that time comes, yeah, I'm gonna sit down and talk to him, probably face to face, and see where his mind at. Obviously, where mine is, and when that time comes, I will let you know again.
Jimmy, Vince Goodwill, CSN. You've improved your game literally, every season, and this season there have been questions about whether you could be the best player on a contending team. Do you feel like you've answered those questions, or do you still have more to prove on an individual level?
Prove to who? I don't think I have too much to prove to anybody except for myself. I go out there and I compete. I think I do it anybody's asked of me majority of the time. I don't know. It's a good question. Everybody got their opinion. But for me, I could care less about everybody's opinion, man. I just try to control what I can control and go out there and try to be the best basketball player I can be.
Dave Lamb, Boston Herald. Boston had quite a bit more balance, but Avery Bradley seemed to bring it, particularly the last couple of games. Any observations on him? Made
some shots, guarded well. They played like the one seed, man. And when you do that, they're really hard to guard, man, and a really good team. And he's a part of that, along with all those other guys. But when he's playing at a level like that, they'll win some games.
Thank you.
Perfect.